Today we're just going to look at an application of what we saw yesterday. And that is, how do we calculate the angle between two lines? So there's one line which I've called L1. It makes an angle of θ1 with the x-axis. Therefore it has a slope m1 which is equal to the tan of θ1. Here's L2. L2 makes an angle of θ2 with the x-axis. So therefore, it has the slope m2. Right. Now, if I want to find the angle between these two lines, which I've called alpha, a little bit of geometry. I know that, well, θ1 will equal alpha plus θ2, exterior angle of a triangle. Rearrange that, I get alpha is equal to θ1 minus θ2. So therefore, the tan of alpha must equal the tan of θ1 minus θ2. But now we know how to expand out the tan of θ minus θ2. That'll be tan minus tan on 1 plus tan tan. Ta-da! Right. So in fact, I don't actually need to know the angles because tan θ1, remember, was the slope. And tan θ2 was the slope of the other line. So I could substitute in and just make that the slope 1 minus slope 2 on 1 plus slope 1, slope 2. So the actual angles themselves, I don't need to know, as long as I know the slopes of the line. What we tend to say with this little formula is if we want to find the acute angle. And so if it is the acute angle, then we put absolute values around it. Because if it's acute, tan has to be positive. If I had to find the obtuse angle, well, then it'll just be 180 minus the acute angle. Okay, let's have a look at a, well, fairly old one now. What's that, 16 years ago? Find the acute angle between these two lines. So this is early on in the paper, question 1b. So let's find our slopes. Our slopes are 2 and 1/3. Bung it into the formula. 2 minus a third on 1 plus 2 times a third. 6 minus 1. Oh, that works out nice. That's just 1. One of our exact values. So the angle is 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Here's one from 2005. The acute angle, this time they told us the angle is 45 degrees. We have to work out the possibilities for m. So again, we'll use our formula, but this time we know what the angle is. It's tan 45. And I'll put 3 minus the one we're trying to find, m over 1 plus 3m. We end up with basically an absolute value equation to solve. So absolute value of 1 plus 3m is equal to the absolute value of 3 minus m. Gives us two possibilities to go and solve, either the positive or the negative. Over here on the left-hand side, I get m is a half. Right-hand side, the other possibility is m equals negative 2. As I would expect. Why? Because what do you notice about these two slopes? Yeah. And that makes sense. Why? Right. Because the angle between the two lines is 45. So we're saying one possibility is 45 this way, the other possibility is 45 this way. Therefore, the two possibilities are at right angles to each other. So it makes sense that in this case, it's only because it's 45, if that angle was 30 degrees, we wouldn't get it. But because that was 45, it turned out our answers were the negative inverse of each other. Okay. 14E. And just a handful of questions there.